The Sierra Nevada, a mountain range of granite walls, icy lakes, and high passes. For 82 miles, I followed a path that threads from South Lake over Bishop Pass, along the John Muir Trail, and out through Duck Pass. This is my journey. The trail begins at South Lake, nearly 10,000 feet high. The air is thin, the sun sharp. The climb follows a necklace of lakes: Long, Saddle Rock, Bishop. At mile 2, Long Lake stretches out like a mirror of granite. Its calm surface belies the steep miles ahead.
I have to say, trying to frame the shot as a still recording.
At mile 3, the climb continues along turquoise tarns, granite walls pressing closer.
Just power through the pass.
Look at that pack train.
switchbacks.
At mile 5, switchbacks rise steeply, each step higher into the alpine air. At nearly 12,000 feet, the trail crests at Bishop Pass. Its name comes from the town of Bishop, far below in the Owens Valley, a settlement founded in the 1860s during California's ranching and mining boom. Bishop itself was named for Samuel Addison Bishop, a settler who drove cattle into the valley and established one of the first homesteads here. When the pass was mapped in the early 1900s, it was linked forever to the town, creating a line that stretches from alpine lakes down to desert sage. Dusty Basin spreads wide with tarns and meadows. The Palisades rise above, jagged sentinels watching the basin below.
Come on, fish. Oh, got it.
The trail drops sharply into LeConte Canyon. Glacial walls surround the roaring middle fork of the Kings River. Today, however, much of its beauty is hidden behind the smoke.
What is it protecting?
Oh, I know what this is. We just entered national park.
Well, we've been in the national park.
No, actually, this is the border. This has to be it.
Oh.
I think this is the Kings Canyon National Park, and that's Inyo County. So this is the official border.
Exiting the Bishop Pass Trail, we finally meet the John Muir Trail. We turn left and head south to find our campsite for the night.
Here is the campsite for night number 1, just south of the JMT intersection. Here's my site. There's a waterfall right there. There's a bridge. There's Andrew. Let's check out his tent. Wow, look at this tent. It's so light, it looks almost like it's flying off the ground.
It is.
Stunning.
This time, I decided to be smarter about it, get more air ventilation, and also, because of my new trekking poles, it's higher off the ground.
It looks beautiful.
Yeah, before I was using a broken trekking pole. Keep this up.
What do you have going on here?
Alright, so this is my first time code soaking. I put 2 Quaker oatmeals of different flavors because I couldn't find the matching flavor in my bear can. I eyeballed the water so it's a little bit goopy, but I'll figure it out. And then lastly, I added peanut butter powder and the powdered milk to just give it that like, milky consistency.
Nice.
So I code soaked it last night. We'll see how this goes.
Look at that container. How does it taste?
It's passable. I eat it again.
Deer often graze at dawn or dusk, their silhouettes moving quietly through the grass. Once, herds of tule elk roamed much of California, but in the Sierra High Country, mule deer now fill that role, a reminder of the wilderness that still lingers. After our first night, breaking camp wasn't easy. The ground here is granite and gravel, tent stakes driven into cracks and frozen earth. Pulling them out feels like another workout before the day's miles even begin. The Sierra tests you in ways big and small. Where we camped at mile 13, The sound of the Middle Fork, Kings River, grows louder with each step. As the trail drops deeper into LeConte Canyon, sheer granite walls rise thousands of feet above. Among them stands Langley Peak, a jagged sentinel at over 13,000 feet. Few ever climb it, but every hiker through this canyon feels its shadow. Peaks like Langley remind us that while we walk the valleys, the Sierra's true guardians stand far above. At Big Peat Meadow, the river slows, meandering through grassland, a place of rest before the long climb to Muir Pass.
Godzilla fence here.
We're gonna knock it down. That's Godzilla.
You think that bar prevents stuff from coming out?
It keeps the dwarfs out.
Keeps the dwarfs out.
Keeps the dwarfs out. The mystical dwarfs. That's what I meant.
Makes no sense. None of this makes any sense. Off to Muir Pass we go. This trail diverges at a fork. Choose your more adventurous path. And there goes a squirrel, by the way, right past you. He went the more adventurous path right there. Clearly, that's the way.
It is the sign.
And this is the safer path. Andrew, which way are you going?
I'm going to go the squirrel path.
Okay, I'm going the safer path.
All right.
Along the climb to Muir Pass, the trail passes by Monster Rock, a hulking boulder animated by hikers who've tucked stones into its cracks for eyes and a jagged grin. It's a bit of trail folklore in a land of stone and sky, a reminder that humor survives even at this elevation. Little Peat Meadow, quieter, smaller, but no less beautiful. A brief reprieve of the trail's relentless rise. The climb sharpens, switchbacks cutting into bare rock. Higher now, trees thin, replaced by open granite. At around mile 29, the trail skirts Helen Lake, stark, cold, and beautiful. Named for John Muir's youngest daughter, it sits just below the pass, a reminder that even in this rugged wilderness, personal stories are etched into the maps.
You're going behind me.
Past this lake, the approach to Muir Pass grows stark, all stone and wind.
Hey, hey. That's how it looks like.
Yeah. What it looks like. It looks like a hut. No big bad wolf's gonna blow that down.
Muir Pass, crowned by the stone Muir Hut. Built in 1930, it offers refuge against sudden storms. Here, the Sierra feels endless, stripped to granite and sky. Muir Hut was built by the Sierra Club as a memorial to John Muir. Crafted from local granite by Italian masons, its circular design is modeled after alpine refuges of the European Alps. Inside, a single room offers shelter from sudden storms. At nearly 12,000 feet, Muir Pass is one of the most exposed stretches of the John Muir Trail, and this hut has saved lives. To step inside is to touch both history and survival, stone walls holding a century of stories. Crossing the pass, the trail descends into Evolution Basin. Alpine lakes begin to appear, shimmering among slabs.
Clear skies. And all of a sudden, this.
Evolution Basin, a crown jewel of the John Muir Trail, today filled with smoke. Lakes shimmer beneath peaks named for Darwin, Huxley, Mendel, a union of science and wilderness. Here, Wanda Lake, windswept and cold, honors Muir's daughter. At around mile 36, we reached Evolution Lake, one of the most beloved campsites on the John Muir Trail. Granite shelves overlook the water, and at dusk, deer wander silently through camp, grazing as if they owned the place. To share an evening with them while alpenglow paints the peaks is to feel part of the wilderness rather than just a visitor.
All right, camp for night number dos. Oh, my tent, Andrew's tent. Look at that lightweight setup.
It's just flying in the air.
Evolution Lake.
The next day begins at Evolution Lake. Morning light pours over granite walls, and the lake lies perfectly still, holding the sky in its reflection. Breaking camp here feels bittersweet. A place so serene you want to linger, yet the trail keeps calling you north. Every step away is both departure and discovery. Not far north of Evolution Lake, I hear the sharp squeak of a pika. These tiny cousins of rabbits thrive in the talus, stashing grasses and hidden hay piles to survive the long alpine winters. For a moment, the vast Sierra feels small, animated by this quick, darting life among the rocks. The trail softens into Evolution Valley. Meadows bloom, rivers meander, and the Sierra shows a gentler face. McClure Meadow, described by early explorers as one of the most idyllic places in the Sierra. It remains unchanged, wide, quiet, timeless. Fences are a curious sight on the John Muir Trail. They aren't meant to keep hikers out, but to protect the meadow. In the early 1900s, this valley was hammered by sheep and cattle grazing. Even today, researchers use these fences to study how meadows recover when deer and stock are kept out. Inside the fence, grasses grow taller and denser, living proof of the Sierra's resilience and its fragility. The trail winds through forest and meadows, drawing close to Evolution Creek. Its sound grows louder, rushing with snowmelt. Evolution Creek is one of the John Muir Trail's most notorious hazards. In early summer, the water can rise to your chest, swift, icy, and dangerous. Many hikers take the upstream stock crossing, where the creek spreads wide and shallow. Even late in the season, the current demands caution. Here, every step reminds you that in the Sierra, water is both life and risk. At around mile 50, the John Muir Trail meets the south fork of the San Joaquin. For decades, a wooden bridge carried hikers safely across. But in 2019, floods tore it away. For 3 summers, trekkers were forced to ford the river waist deep, swift, and icy with snowmelt. In 2022, a new steel bridge was installed, standing higher and stronger above the torrent. Crossing it now feels effortless, but the memory of those lost years lingers, a reminder of how water shapes not just valleys and canyons, but the trail itself.
One hour has gone by since the last video clip, and the smoke is coming in.
For miles, the JMT parallels the San Joaquin. Every bend brings new cascades, new power, new sound.
MTR. Oh, this way.
MTR, or Muir Trail Ranch, a lifeline for thru hikers. For many, it's a midpoint. For me, it marks a turning point north towards Mammoth Lakes.
What Andrew and I learned here: don't take the MTR shortcut, saving 0.8 miles. This does not work that well.
As shortcuts in life, all must pay the toll.
Take a look at that sun.
Oh boy.
Wow.
You know how red that sun is? That's how red the sun was in India.
Today, we camp next to Sanger Creek, named for Joachim Sanger, a German immigrant and California judge who became one of John Muir's early allies in protecting the Sierra. The Sierra Club later honored him by naming both this creek and Mount Sanger above it in his honor. Long before thru hikers, this was a favorite stop for pack trains carrying supplies into the high country. To camp here today is to share in a legacy that stretches back more than a century, when the Sierra was still being mapped, named, and defended. In the lodgepole forests, grouse hide in plain sight. These sooty grouse live at the edge of the alpine, feeding on pine needles in winter and berries in summer. True residents of the Sierra's high forests. At mile 66, we reach Sally Keys Lakes. These lakes lie quiet today, but they carry a story more than a century old. Named in the late 1800s for Sally Keys, a woman tied to the circle of early Sierra explorers. These lakes became a natural rest stop for mule trains and sheep herders long before through hikers came this way. In the early 1900s, fish were packed in by hand, turning the lakes into a prized angling spot. Now, protected as part of the John Muir Wilderness, the lakes stand as a bridge between past and present, a place once shaped by human use, now preserved for solitude and reflection.
Ah, my phone. My phone can't capture it very well.
The trail passes next Heart Lake, a quiet alpine pool cradled in granite. Smaller than Sally Keys, it feels hidden, like a secret along the JMT. Its name fits perfectly. After long climbs and river crossings, Heart Lake is a place to pause, breathe, and remember why we fall in love with this trail. At mile 67, the trail crests Sheldon Pass, 10,880 feet above sea level. Unlike the stark granite of Muir Pass, Sheldon feels gentle, ringed with lakes and meadows. It's named for Theodore Sheldon, an early Sierra Club member who stood with John Muir in the fight to protect these mountains. When the John Muir Trail was completed in 1938, Sheldon Pass was chosen for its steady grade, making it as passable for pack trains as for hikers. Today it remains one of the Sierra's friendliest gateways, a reminder that not every crossing has to be a struggle to be beautiful. Marie Lake spreads wide beneath Sheldon Pass, its waters agleam turquoise against pale granite. Many hikers call this one of the most beautiful lakes on the entire John Muir Trail. From Sheldon Pass, the John Muir Trail descends into the canyon of Bear Creek. For miles, the path follows the water's song, a constant rush over polished granite. At times, the creek widens into smooth pools where trout rise in the evening, and then it tightens into cascades that echo through the forest. Walking here feels different from the stark passes. Soft needles underfoot, dappled light, the comfort of water always at your side. This is one of the most peaceful stretches of the trail, yet its power is never far away. In early summer, Bear Creek swells with snowmelt, turning gentle crossings into dangerous fords. But in late season, it becomes a companion, guiding you northward, mile by mile, through one of Sierra's most beautiful river valleys. After leaving
Going up
Bear
Bear
Creek, the trail
Ridge.
turns upward into the long
Many
climb of Bear
switchbacks.
Ridge.
Going to Bear
For
Ridge.
miles, switchbacks twist steadily through lodgepole forest. In the afternoon sun, it feels endless, dusty, hot, and steep. Every hiker who's walked the John Muir Trail remembers this climb. Yet with each turn, glimpses of the Sandy King Canyon appear through the trees, reminding you that effort here is always rewarded. Bear Ridge may not be as famous as the high passes, but its grind is a rite of passage, a test of patience as much as strength. From the top of Bear Ridge, the trail dives steeply toward Lake Edison. The switchbacks here are carved into loose soil, each step slipping a little in the dust. It's a quick loss of more than 1,000 feet, and knees take the brunt of it. After miles of climbing, the descent feels just as punishing, a reminder that in the Sierra, down can be every bit as hard as up. At the bottom lies a spur to the Vermilion Valley Resort, and the promise of rest, food, and a ferry ride. But first, gravity has to be paid its due.
We're going down there today. Tomorrow, we go up there.
Tonight, we camp at the junction with the Vermilion Valley Resort Spur, where the trail meets the Mono Creek. Many hikers camp here, either waiting for the morning ferry across Lake Edison, or simply resting before the next climb. The morning begins with the crossing of the Mono Creek, one of the great drainages of the Sierra. Its name comes from the Mono people, who once crossed the high passes to trade with tribes west of the range. Today, its waters thunder through the canyon, powerful enough that the lower valley was dammed to form Lake Edison in the 1950s. Above the reservoir, the creek still runs wild, a corridor of life and history. Crossing the bridge here feels like stepping across time, from the footsteps of the Mono people, to the mule trains of the early Sierra Club, to the hikers of today.
I feel it'd be pretty close.
It's peaking.
The Garnet Fire in Fresno County, behind Bear Ridge.
Oh, hello, sir.
The trail climbs steadily, winding through forests and granite steps. Ahead waits another great gateway of the Sierra.
Over there? Over there. Fake path. Not real. That's the real path.
At last, the trail crests Silver Pass, 10,900 feet above sea level. Unlike the jagged walls of Muir or Bishop, Silver Pass feels broad and open, a gentle saddle between two great watersheds. Long before the John Muir Trail, Paiute and Mono people crossed here on trading routes, carrying obsidian, pine nuts, and shells across the Sierra. Later, hopeful prospectors gave the pass its name, though no silver was ever found. In the 1930s, trail crews cut this route by hand to make a reliable crossing for mule trains, a legacy still alive today when pack animals thread the same path. From the top, the views stretch in both directions. Behind lie the forests of Mono Creek. Ahead, the deep canyon of Bear Creek. Silver Pass isn't the highest or hardest, but it holds its own magic, a place where history, wilderness, and relief meet on the spine of the Sierra.
Andrew! It's raining! Let's get to the chopper! Faster! What just happened? Elegant. As long as nothing's broken.
That could have been a potential twin. Because I've yet to have one this trip yet.
Don't say anything. How's the screen?
Huh?
The screen's done.
The screen's already cracked.
We are live. How's it going in there? Oh, it looks so saggy.
I know. It took a beating.
Oh boy.
How's your tent holding up?
I think I need a new bottom.
Oh,
The ground is all wet. Oh boy. Let's pack it up. The sun! Well,
Lake Virginia sits at 10,350 feet along the Silver Divide. Its name dates back to the early 1900s, when surveyors mapped this country and often borrowed names from other Sierra lakes or even from states back east. Like most alpine lakes, Virginia was once fishless, but in the 1920s, trout were carried here by mule train and released into its waters. For decades, the Sierra Club's great high trips camped here, pitching dozens of tents along the grassy shore. Today, it feels quieter, but the tradition remains.
This man is using all 100% of his brain.
I'm drying my tent. Where I would insert my trekking poles right here at the ends. That's how I'm keeping it up. Actually holding up the tent while I walk and dry the tent.
It's truly a brain blast.
Brain blast.
Purple Lake earns its name at dusk. As the sun fades, the water glows violet, a fleeting Sierra magic.
That's definitely a sick owl. Should we slowly walk past it?
Duck Lake sprawls enormous and blue, cradled beneath the ridge. Its outlet tumbles westward, marking the final miles of this journey.
I think you need a...
Duck Pass, the last threshold. Beyond it, the trail drops towards Mammoth and the end of 82 miles. Granite walls, icy rivers, alpine lakes, each a chapter in the Sierra's story, etched forever into memory.
Last mile. We do?
I'll be back.